So let's talk about your faction and legendary lord options, starting from the strongest, based on the tier list we have on the game state as of March 2025. Be'lakor. Be'lakor is hands down the strongest option. Not only does he have almost all the benefits Archaon has, but also instead of the inconsistent Eye of the Gods mechanic, he has a very consistent Unholy Manifestations mechanic, one of which completely sidesteps the main weakness of Chaos, which is the recruitment. It massively changes the logistics and allows you to project power anywhere in the world. Like that is not enough, you start with access to Empire and South Pole right away. Sure, your starting location is less secure compared to Archaon, but that is not as relevant as the advantages you get from the benefits we just talked about. Logistics is one of the most important factors in war, and that is what portals solve for any point in the game. Easier consistent access to demonic units help, but they fall off in the late game. However, the extra units never hurt with a faction that has recruitment problems. Besides, if you cannot use them on your front lines, you can always use them to project power anywhere else and go behind your enemy. The options are limitless. Next, we've got Valkia. Yes, Valkia is considered stronger than Archaon, and I agree. Besides being the best waifu, she has a few advantages that others do not. Her faction is the only one that can recruit Wrathmongers and Skull Reapers. So cool, but the key is how they are recruited. They have access to bloodletting. These two things, justice recruitment and bloodletting, is enough to make up for anything they lose in the process. And of course, by default, they get access to Khorne army abilities. They still have access to the most important spell lores, Metal and Fire. And sure, Nurgle lore is great, Death lore is great, but these two will fulfill all of your spellcasting needs for the rest of the game. The fact that those two extra units are on the power level of aspiring champions and available from the start allows you to have a completely busted tempo, not to mention the unique lord you get. Bloodspeaker makes your upkeep cheaper, he has really good abilities, so do not sleep on that, and those are the factors makes your rank just a bit above Archaon. But to reiterate, the Wrathmongers and Skull Reapers being available, one in every province, with a small chance of getting them when you reach 100 Khorne corruption, is a massive factor that you should always take advantage of. Now let's talk about Archaon. Archaon, quintessential Chaos Lord, has access to the most mechanics, but doesn't mean he has access to the best ones. Regardless, the starting position, sheer amount of options available make him a great choice. Last 3 videos were basically from his faction perspective, so I don't think I need to talk more about that. Sigvald, great starting position, extra availability of Slaanesh units on top of Undivided is nice, has the charm mechanic, Slaanesh army abilities, and honestly, nothing wrong with him. Still A tier, I think he's a great choice when Archaon is not allowed, so absolutely go for it. Kholek, let's research more Dragon Ogre's version of Archaon. Also, no confederating other legendary lords, which is a downside, but not that big of a deal. The starting position is a little awkward, which is why I'm ranking him below the others. But if you'd like to play Undivided Warriors of Chaos and the other high tier factions are banned, certainly a viable choice. Now for Village, Azazel, and Festus, I have not played those lords myself outside of single player, and I have always confederated them, so in battle, yeah, they're great, but a cursory look at their mechanics from single player and starting positions leaves them with not as much of a synergy factor as the other ones we talked about. They get some Chaos God specific mechanics themselves, just like the others, but the main difference is their openers. If you want to pick Warriors of Chaos in a lower tier game, I recommend playing these with the notes we have collected so far. No matter who you choose to play as, you should always come prepared for your campaigns, because your opponents certainly will. These lessons will help you get the most out of these factions, but you still need to practice and practice deliberately. So that's all I had about Warriors of Chaos. If you have any questions or recommendations, leave them below in the comments and I'll respond.